Okay, good afternoon and welcome once again to another episode of It's Your Money. I'm your host, Antonio Sturgas, and let's jump right into it. But before we do, a disclaimer that I am not your attorney. I am not your CPA. If you need legal advice, you should consult your own attorney. For financial matters, consult your own accountant or CPA. Do not listen to a word that I say. You will lose everything. What I say is strictly for entertainment purposes and reflect my own personal experience. Ladies and gentlemen, there is a rumor that I cannot confirm. However, they are saying that next week, the SBA is coming out with the EIDL Loan Program 2.0. What does that mean? That means that the loan caps of $500,000 are now going to $2 million. Number one. Number two, they are saying that anyone who has applied for the EIDL loan, first-time applicants, your application will either be reviewed, processed, or approved, and possibly funded by the end of August. One of those four options. Additionally, if you applied for the increase, the loan increase, the 24 months working capital, the IRS is saying, number one, by the end of the month, your application will either be reviewed, processed, approved, or funded. One of the four options. That's what they're alleging. Additionally, with the 2.0 program, if you were approved for the 6 months working capital, which I was, you are automatically approved for 24 months working capital, which should be the case. It's the same information. You're supposed to be able to go into the portal, make an adjustment for the loan amount, and then, of course, they're going to make sure you're still in business, certain factors are still valid, and then they're supposed to fund you. This is what they're saying allegedly. Before, according to the old program, you had to apply for the 24 months working capital. But if you were already approved for the 6 months, they're saying you're automatically approved for 24 months because it's the same information. And it doesn't make sense. In my case, I was approved for 6 months, denied for 24 months because of, quote, unverified information. But it's the same information. You just approved me. Doesn't make sense. So they're supposed to remedy that matter. This is what the rumor is. I cannot confirm or deny that. And lastly, they are saying if you are in reconsideration by the end of August, your reconsideration application will either be reviewed, approved, or processed, or even funded. One of the four. Again, by the end of August, allegedly, if you're in reconsideration, your application will either be reviewed, processed, approved, or funded. One of the four. This is what they're saying by the end of August. I'll have to see it to believe it. But the good news is that prior to the 2.0, if you received an EIDL 6 months working capital loan, you had to apply for the 24 months and resubmit everything again. They're saying you don't have to do that now because they have the information. It's the same information. They just have to verify the file, verify you're still in business, etc. There might be a change in the loan amount, but they're saying that you should get approved. We shall see. I'm here in my comments section, and again, a lot of the comments are the same. And I'm going to say this. First of all, if you are denied for the EIDL loan or 24 months working capital, you have the right for reconsideration. They're going to send you an email with a letter, and the letter says specifically, submit your reconsideration via email or mail it in. Mail it in, certified mail, with all of the required documentation 2 years tax returns, bank statements for 2019 and 2020, copy of your photo ID, copy of your business license or articles of corporations, and a voided check. Mail it in certified with a letter. They have to respond back to you. Ladies and gentlemen, my whole point is this. At some point, I can't tell you when, they are going to respond. Whether it's 1 month, 2 months, 3 months, 4 months, 6 months, 7 months, I don't know. It took me a year and a half. But at some point, they are going to respond. The issue is, when they do respond, are you ready? Do you have your 2019 and 2020 tax returns in a PDF form ready to submit to them, whether you're in front of your computer or on your phone? Do you have that ready? Do you have your bank statements for 2019 and 2020 on your computer or on your phone ready to submit PDF form? Do you have your business license if you're a sole proprietor, or your articles of incorporation? Or I'm in New York, you're required to have a sales tax ID. Do you have all of that in PDF form ready to submit if they call you? Do you have your driver's license? Do you have your voided check? They are going to call you. They called me at 8:30 at night, 8:40 something at night, whatever it was. The first call that I got, confirming information. She said, I don't know, someone's going to reach out to you. Could be a week from now, 2 weeks from now, whatever. At 9 something at night, I got another phone call confirming my banking information. And then she said it could take a couple weeks, but you'll be funded at some point. A couple days later, I was funded. So they are going to call you. You should start preparing yourself now for the phone call, because they will call you. If you send a certified letter to the address, like I tell you to, they will 1,000% respond to you. They have to. They have to. I've already been through it. They will call you. The issue that I'm finding is that when people get the phone call, they're not ready. And if you were denied for a modification, there's a reason. There's a reason why. So call customer service and say, look, I was denied for a loan modification. Can you explain to me why? If you don't like what the customer service agent says, ask to speak to a supervisor. If you don't like what the supervisor says, then put your request in writing and mail it to the SBA certified mail. They must respond to you. That's SBA policy. They got to respond to you if you put it in writing. If you put it in writing, certified mail, they must respond to you. And I've said on one of my other videos, and someone got upset, people are very sensitive these days, when I use the metaphor, it's going to take forever. Oh, you can't say that. You shouldn't say that. Yes, it's going to take forever. It's going to take a very long time. That's what I meant by forever. It's a metaphor. It's going to take forever. It is. It's going to take forever. It's going to take for a long time, because the SBA is not built for massive loan financing. We're in a pandemic. Things that should never have happened are happening. And I will remind you, to this date, they still haven't explained how this pandemic happened. There's no explanation. It just happened. Take the shot. And if you don't like that, take another shot. And hey, take another shot. And hey, everything's okay with the shot. Don't worry about it. It's safe. Sure it is. Take it. And if you die, so what? And you can't sue us either. But they're going to call you. Prepare yourself. They will call you. I was just approved for 6 months working capital. They have all my information. I've sent it to them 1,000,000 times. I applied for the 24 months working capital 3 weeks later. Denied me. Unverifiable information. What are you talking about? You just approved me. If you have a problem, you need to speak to the loan officer that just approved me. Would you like her name and number? Oh, no, I don't want that. No, you need to take it, because if you can't verify it, she did through 5 reconsiderations. She approved me. So what's the issue? You have to advocate for yourself. But here is the key. Put your sentiment, your feeling in writing, and send it to the SBA in writing certified mail. If you can have your attorney write it, even better. They will respond to you. They are going to respond to you. It's going to take a while because they don't have the manpower. They've been using third-party whack jobs. And the people are nice. You know, they're trying to do the best they can. They probably need more training. But, again, they're gatekeepers. They hired a bunch of gatekeepers that don't know what they're doing, and they lack the experience. That's why in reconsideration, they save reconsideration for the experienced loan officers that have been working in the SBA for years that know what they're doing. Everybody else is a gatekeeper through a third-party company that is working out the house. You know, they're cooking food, answering the phone. They're trying to watch their kid. And it is what it is. I am empathetic and sympathetic for the single mom trying to do the right thing. It's a struggle. But there are ways to put them in a situation to survive. There's ways to do it. And the SBA can avoid all of this very simply. I used to work in financing, mortgage securities. And this is what we used to do when we went into our queues. All the files and investment files or portfolios that we were working on, we would go in and there's an update button that we would simply just write the update to the customer and send them an email, just letting them know what's going on. That's it. And that's all these third-party people that they're hiring to answer the phone, they could be using them just to send emails out to these millions of people, just say, hey, we're still processing your file. We're still working on your file. Hang in there. And a simple email will give you hope. But the summary is, ladies and gentlemen, you are going to get a call. You need to be prepared. And in one of my other videos, I told you the SBA came out with new guidelines. It's 8 pages. And in the 8 pages, they are saying you need 2019, 2020 tax returns, bank statements from 2019. But if you have some issues, show your 2020. And why am I saying give your 2020 tax returns? So you show cash flows. My cash flows, since I started one of my businesses that I applied for, that got approved, it goes up every year. The revenues are going up every year. So give them your 2019 and 20 bank statements, your tax returns, your business license, your articles of incorporation, your sales tax ID, your driver's license. Give them all of that. Have it ready. And again, when they called me, is when I least expected, number one, at odd hours at night. And I was ready to give them the information right from my phone. What do you need? PDF, email on my phone, ready to go. That's how you should be. Because they got this new thing now that they're turning people down because of lack of response. We denied you because of the lack of response. You didn't respond properly. We asked you for this, and you didn't give it to us. So don't get caught up in that. So that's what I want to say today. Don't be upset because you were denied. It sounds bad, but you might be better off in reconsideration dealing with a loan officer that has experience, a loan officer that will advocate for you, and a loan officer that knows how to navigate the system, rather than a third-party person that's just on the phone, that went through the 1-week training, answer the phone, say this, log on, lie. You know, that's what it is. So regardless of what's going on, regardless of what happens, if you get denied once, apply for reconsideration again. But again, I'm telling you, I promise you, I can't tell you how long it's going to take, but I promise you that the SBA will call you. They will contact you one way or the other via email or phone call. They are going to call you. The issue is, are you ready for the call? Are you ready for the call? Are you ready? Remember, Never give up. Never quit. See you at work.